Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. Ati Allah, Ati Rasul, wa ulul amri minkum. And always a reminder for myself, Ana abdukal ajizu, da'ifo, miskeen, zalim, jahal. And but for the grace of God that we are still in existence, we took a path in which to be nothing. And in this physical world that is in its final stages, very old, and an earth and a people in their demise, not the height of their civilization, the worst of their civilization. And knowledges of a timed reality have less and less benefit as this timed reality and this physical plane is perishing. Like a body that in a phase of death, and you want to give to it something from the plane, from the time reality. Talk to the body about something from the physical world, even they insist on trying to feed a body that's perishing. Oh, doesn't eat, he's not going to eat, he's in the phase, this body is in a phase of leaving. And the earth in this phase of death, that the corruption has filled the earth, ignorance has filled the earth, the characteristics are no longer human, they're talking animals. We look to the animals and they have better characteristics than us. They have more spiritual power than humans, and that's when we give the examples of all these creatures. What benefits us in the last days and in days of difficulty and have always benefited, but even more so, is timeless knowledge, not a timed knowledge. Physical knowledges, physical teachings have less and less benefit as a timeless reality is beginning to open upon earth. Means it's going through a phase of death. What's coming is a kingdom of light, and its battle is with the kingdom of darkness. That kingdom of darkness becomes more and more apparent, and that's again through all our teachings, all 6 directions.
As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Shaykh Nurjan. Thank you for watching the video that you're watching. Inshallah, if you're happy with the content and happy with these programs, please support the button below, the programs that we have for our orphanage repairs, our water well, Give the Gift of Life, our mobile food vans. We have now 5 vans: Vancouver, Chicago, Los Angeles, Pakistan. There's many programs that reach thousands of people and rescue foods and give those supplies to people in need. Your support is greatly appreciated. Also, be so kind as to leave loving comments, and please share the stream. Every bit counts. As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Are under the influence of this kingdom of darkness, pushing you on how to eat and how to dress and how to think and what to hear and what to see, which was the vow of shaitan, was the vow of the devil in the Divinely Presence, to give me respite and I will attack your creation, I will attack them from 6 directions. And God granted the respite, the time, because it's the test for humanity. The reward of paradise can only be as great as the test of entering onto the earth. If there's no test here, there must be no reward in the heavens. If heavens is great and the kingdom of light is great and it's for all of eternity, you have to take a test here. So this is the condition of the test, is that there's a kingdom of darkness and it has a bad character, a bad smell, everything about it is wrong. And people try to force their hearts to accept it, no, maybe, oh no, it's wrong. What they teach is wrong, what they think is wrong, what they propagate is wrong. So what is our sustenance and our protection in days of difficulty are the timeless realities. The timeless realities that come to us from a dimension not based on time, but we have a problem. You watch videos, you get pictures, and you used to have a phone with a cord, right? So we all have that phone now because our knowledges are based on time. It's like a change coming and you have an old phone with a cord. But what's coming of realities is not based on this cord, it's not based on being plugged into this earth. You need a much higher tech. That's why the shaitans are releasing their tech. You see it on the horizon. They're releasing AIs, real AIs. But you have AI, you know that's not AI, that's like a reference library based on our teachings, our books. Real AI, they say, how you made it? So we don't know. How's the engine of it? We don't know, but it absorbs massive energy. They can't control the amount of energy. Why? Because this is the jinn world. They're hoping to contain these jinns, but the jinn are going to contain them. They released their protocols, they took out the security measures and now becoming a beast, they don't even have any way of understanding how to control it. The whole thing when they fired him and brought him back and he fired all the security protocol people, now it's a beast moving on its own. Why? Because it's the jinn nations, the nefarious dark side that have been in the shadows pushing mankind towards darkness, which they no longer want. In the last days they wouldn't be in the shadows. That's why they use their checkered board in their symbols. They want support from the unseen in the physical world. But now that support wants to be known. Why we're hiding? We want to be the ones in control of these humans. The kingdom of the devil. And as a result they become more and more known. There is no artificial intelligence, like an oxymoron statement. How do you have intelligence and it be artificial? It's just an intelligence that they're not telling you where it is and where it came from and who it is. But Islam knows the jinn nations. So we said, look at the parasite, those are jinns. Look at disease, these are the jinns. Then they put the electron, somebody sent an email with an electron microscope of a tapeworm. It had eyes like fire and mouth like a demon. And then they had a picture of an AI image of a demon, it was the exact same face. Just because you people name these things didn't change its reality. These creatures were from the unseen. They enter into humanity to take from their host and destroy the host. What they did of physical and what they'll do of their mechanical, which we said now is their nanotechnology. But Shaykh, they advertise it will cure cancer. Yes, everything is always presented as a positive. Donuts are good for you because you can have them for breakfast, but then people gained 500 pounds and died of heart attack. So well, okay, maybe they're not good for your breakfast. So everything is presented as something positive, but its end game from the heavens is known. This is why guidance comes to say, oh, this is not what they're saying, the end game is what's important. So it means then evilness is showing itself everywhere and people are preoccupied with a time knowledge. Time means a physical knowledge, dealing with a non-physical threat. Do you see how then it's so off? Everything they propagate and teach is to be of a physical reality. Even within religions they argue about a physical dogma, but the enemy is something unseen and from an energy reality. And the only defense against negative energies is positive energies. Positive energies, not talking about electromagnetic frequencies of the earth where you can pick up the energy of the earth, but an energy that you are not privy to. You know when they have problems on the cellular network on earth, they came and devised a scheme that why we don't do Starlink, Skylink. Because if your phone is not working from cell to cell and dish to dish, what's the normal understanding is we should take from the heavens. So we'll make a satellite from the heavens to send your phone signals in case the local network is cracking. But this is already known from the heavens. We're not relying on power from the earth, we're relying upon power from the heavens, infinite in its capacity. Its signal is continuously broadcasting, but you haven't the hardware to receive it. You're still holding a phone with a wire. For our analogy, he's like here, oh, how am I going to get that signal? There's not going to be with that. So then the shaykhs become, because the sun and the earth wasn't quite understood by people, so then what the shaykhs become? They're a router, they're a heavenly router. You say, I want to receive a heavenly signal. Then you have to find a heavenly router. Through its disciplines, its trainings, everything, it's been programmed. It's existing on this earth as a way for humans to connect with the heavenly reality. Those routers have to be based off of the discipline of the prophetic router that was sent upon this earth. How many routers have been tampered with now? All of them. But this one, no, he's calling himself a God, means they flipped all the switches, those are no longer heavens. Anyone and any man calling himself God is not from the heavens, that is in contrast to the heavenly reality. Another one extremely violent, slaughtering everyone, you know his router is way off, he is not receiving heavenly coordinates with that router. So the router that exists on this earth is the Muhammadan router. It broadcasts the frequencies of a timeless dimension. All of us, we have to be rigged and recalibrated, refixed to receive those signals. And their routers are broadcasting like a Wi-Fi. That's why they asked, if you go around to too many shaykhs, whose Wi-Fi signal are you on? Even the Wi-Fi is the same name. If we put here DHL or CSIS surveillance van as our Wi-Fi, make a crazy Wi-Fi name just to scare hackers from coming. You can name that same thing at home, but doesn't mean when I come to visit you my phone immediately connects to yours, because it knows it's not the same. They can all have the same name but you didn't get a password from that shaykh. and by virtue of walking around you think you're a phone, you're going to get the signal, but that's not how the technology is working. And Allah is teaching us through technologies. Why? Because the shaitans took these. The shaitan said, okay, we want to have our people and we want to disseminate knowledges very fast. We can't send it through this phone with a wire in it, how are we going to send a video with that? They took us to the level in which to completely overtake humanity, bombard their eyes with images that never would have gone through the phone with a wire. Why this phone came for you? It was a gift from them, it was not our people inventing this. They say the people who created Star Trek, they were on a special council with these jinns and they were introducing technologies and realities. Star Trek was the first one that had the flip phone, the Motorola flip phone in every episode. They gave these things to this nation, to this earth. Why? Bring them up to speed to destroy them, destroy their eyes, destroy their ears, destroy their ability to have any spiritual energy, so they can be overtaken. Because they know that these creatures, if they connect to their heavenly source, they have a power, they have a soul. وَلَقَدْ كَرَمْنَا بَنِي Adam, they are the favorite creation of the Creator. So our life was to what? They were to disconnect us from our reality. The more the tech you rely on, the less of the heavens you understood. So in the last days it seems like it's bizarre to people, but the shaykhs are actually a router on this earth, because they're all fixed and rigged and they're broadcasting Muhammadan signals from the heavens. And all the Prophets exist within the Muhammadan signal. Get the book. We teach about Sayyidina Adam teach about Sayyidina Nuh teach about Sayyidina Musa and Sayyidina Ibrahim Sayyidina Isa ibn Maryam Sayyidina Muhammad 124,000 Prophets of the Divine are on that router with their true reality and all their infinite, Thy kingdom come and God's will be done upon this earth. And we described before that broadcast comes out and teaches people fast. Who's emulating heavenly kingdoms upon this earth? The people who fast for 30 days, the people who dress modestly, the people whom are ordered to pray 5 times a day. They're picking up the signals of the heaven. Not the one who wears something on their chest and go out drinking and doing horrible things at a football game. That has nothing to do with the heavens. So the heavenly signal's already clear upon this earth. So as the shaykhs are broadcasting from their router, what they're asking people, make your connection. As soon as you make your connection, you say, okay, I want to be connected to that router. Go to any router you want, 124,000 routers on this earth. They're awliya. Each one says he's more powerful than the other one, who cares? Connect to that router, make your connection. Means then when you make your connection, you make your acquaintance with the shaykh. That's why we kept the helpme@nurmuhammad.com. Introduce yourself, watch the channel, watch the teachings. Why? Because the shaykh is going to give you a guest pass. Just like your home, because you can understand your home now, nobody understands spiritual knowledges. So it's going to be taught back into your home. You're not going to get his Wi-Fi pass because he's got many things on his Wi-Fi pass, but you're going to get a guest pass. And the guest pass can be revoked at any time based on your bad character. Act good, be good, do good. As a result, this guest pass is given to you. What does that mean? Means that when I connect my heart and I'm doing the muraqabah, I'm doing what He's asked of me, I do my charity, I do my khidmat and share articles, share videos. We gave the technology yesterday. You share one reel you change completely the person's algorithm. And we have many people we've talked with, their algorithm is just like horrific videos in their reels. You send one shaykh video, they watch it for about a minute, it will completely change their algorithm and then the shaykhs will start appearing in their reels. That was huge, that was a huge attack against shaitan and the devils, is to go around changing people's algorithm because he's hijacked everyone's signal. Now you return it past, hello, we are broadcasting from the heavens now. And then all the shaykhs begin to appear on people's reels as if you're trying to switch it back and anger shaitan. So these are big realities. By many people they say, why are they doing like why? They're divulging to themselves and everyone else, they don't understand what's happening in the battle that's happening now. And as a result they teach you to connect to their router. You'll get a guest pass, you start to do your practices. Some routers are transmitting knowledges that other routers have no access to. You can go anywhere you want, I say, I'll travel here, I want to travel there, I want to go meet this, go meet whoever you want. If you go off of this router you may have a hard time getting back on because you went and you change your coordinates, change your understanding, doubt or whatever comes. What happens? You went off of somebody's Wi-Fi. Then you try to come back and say, oh I'm not feeling the connection anymore because you lost your guest pass. And then people go around from this person to that person and they say, how come they don't know these teachings? And how come when we ask them about the teachings they try to crush it and bring it down? Well, because what's transmitted through their router is not being transmitted through this router and only Allah knows why. Why some routers are broadcasting such an immensely powerful signal of immensely big realities of Sayyidina Muhammad. Why? Is only for Allah to understand. But for us whom are involved in technologies, this is the tech of what's happening. Our life is to find these routers. As soon as you found it, you said, this is a router that I want my being to be connected to. You make your introduction and follow their instructions. The instructions that we gave is be generous, to give, to sponsor, to support, do your khidmah, do your service. Share the emails, share the videos, share the reels, all of what the shaykhs have asked for from this router and how this router was trained and all of its coordinates were put in. You go into the router, has all the tick, 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 all the switches that were made. Allah placed the router exactly where He wanted it on this earth. The router doesn't move without their permission. As a result, come in, get your guest pass and act accordingly. Now what happens? You got your guest pass because the people didn't understand how the sun shines for everyone but they don't know subhana man huwa alimul hakim. I didn't understand how the sun goes through the dark and then all of a sudden illuminates. Well, you'll understand now because as soon as you're on their Wi-Fi, when they start talking about this is the month of Safar, that signal is coming to you. And you start to see, oh this is the month of Safar. Some Muslim people, new people, old people didn't even know what the importance of months were. If you look at other groups they don't even say welcoming the holy month of Safar, they don't know. Either they're not even connected to a router because some people are just free roaming trying to get Wi-Fi as they drive down the street, just trying to connect to wherever they can, they have absolutely no signal, they're not really getting any coordinates. So not all routers are broadcasting the same signal, but as soon as you have a guest pass with that shaykh, he says, Safar, you are starting to understand. You start to even see the signs in Safar, you see the signs in the Qur'an that he's talking to you about and you even see the signs on the horizon, oh look 7 moons have shined over China, 7 sleepers, safar. Not everybody sees and understands it, but why? Because now you're on their Wi-Fi. What's coming in through their signal, you're now trickling and receiving that reality. That's why they say, okay, when we're going to recite this, understand what's being recited. As a result of being on their Wi-Fi, you'll begin to pick up the signals, the isharat, the guidance, the understanding, everything. Everything being broadcast through that signal. That's the immense importance of these realities and why not everybody understands them. As soon as you share, because the shaykh has asked you, share. As soon as you share, as if you're sending a loaded reality with a guest pass. Because you send a video, a reel, and you have to just put in your comments to your friends that, hey, what do you think of this guy? Could be good or bad, you don't really care. It goes out, they click on it, watch it for a minute, 2 minutes, say, I hate it. You change their algorithm. They had a temporary guest pass to enter in, they watch it. In 2 minutes you can change the algorithm of YouTube, because I'll start showing up in their feed. Naqshbandi will show up in the feed, Shaykh Nazim will show up in the feed, Shaykh will show up. And we heard it from people, they say, Shaykh, I was doing so many different things. Somebody sent your one video and after that the next day all I saw was your videos in my feed, Shaykh Nazim in your feed, Shaykh Hisham in the feed, all telling me what to do. Changed my life. That's all our life is just send it out. Who Allah guides? Allah guides, it's not you guiding. And you say, oh they're not going to like it. Who cares what you think? Leave it to what Allah wants. This is the reality of the technology. They have a temporary pass, they watch it. Who knows? If Allah guides them, they watch the next one, they watch the next one, now they're on that network again. Now they feel after even 2 years, people say, I'm watching for 2 years, I have a sense and understanding now of what you're talking about. Why? Because enough information has come that the heart is beginning to understand these coordinates. And this is the immensity of the system that these shaykhs have set up. They set up this router, they trained it for 30 years, put the switches the way they want it and begin to have it broadcast. Through the support they've given with multimedia, it reaches everywhere. Log on here, east to west, north to south, log on, log on, log on. We take one log and we see if that's the one that Allah wants to guide. And when He guides through that temporary password, they're now beginning to understand a timeless reality. Other people are trying to broadcast, but they're broadcasting time knowledges which have very little effect on a reality of negativity. What are you going to do with what they teach of a timed reality, of physical dogma? One of the physical people, he give a talk that, oh you do charity, you do all these things, your recitation is incorrect, you'll not go to paradise. He started saying all sorts of unbelievable rubbish. And that's what you want to teach people when a negative energy is coming? That's not the reality. That's why when they're teaching, no, when a negative attack is coming, you got to do your recitations, you got to do your meditations, you have to understand the power of water and the vibration that's within water, the vibration that's within yourself. It's the day and night difference. And if you watch enough from their understandings, you'll see that, oh, I actually think they're on the dark side, because it looks like they're taking people to the dark side so that they come against everything. Now they put videos out showing hocus pocus of rings. Anyone who comes against the sunnah of Sayyidina Muhammad and has a beard and a hat or whatever kind of outfit he wants, he's from the dark side. You cannot come against the sunnah of Prophet. That is not what the heavens would be broadcasting. They're teaching, actually the ring has from the power of Sayyidina Sulaiman. The asa has from the power of Sayyidina Musa. All of them are a fight against negativity because of the energies and the realities that they symbolize. InshaAllah Allah give us greater understanding and our tech people to understand these realities whom suggested this inshaAllah. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifoon wassalamun al mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen bi hurmati Muhammadil Mustafa bassir Suratul Fatiha.
As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Shaykh Nurjan. Thank you for watching the video that you're watching. Inshallah, if you're happy with the content and happy with these programs, please support the button below, the programs that we have for our orphanage repairs, our water well, Give the Gift of Life, our mobile food vans. We have now 5 vans: Vancouver, Chicago, Los Angeles, Pakistan. There's many programs that reach thousands of people and rescue foods and give those supplies to people in need. Your support is greatly appreciated. Also, be so kind as to leave loving comments and please share the stream. Every bit counts. As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.